guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nadine, and welcome back to this brand new video. If you're new here, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join my YouTube family. I do all kinds of videos here on my channel. I do midwifery related content, fashion, beauty, hair, lifestyle, vlogging here and there. So if you're interested, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and also give this video a thumbs up so that it gets to a wider range of people. And also follow me on Instagram. All my handles and everything will pop up on the screen, and everything will be in the description box below. So I decided to film this video just to give you guys a few things that you need to think about or consider before studying midwifery, for all the students that are about to start, and for everyone, you know, considering becoming a midwife. This video is not to put you off in any shape or form. I feel like it's good to be prepared, and it's good to know what you're getting yourself into. And now that I'm finished my degree and I'm actually qualified and I'm working as a midwife here in the UK, in London, I can now tell you a few things that I wasn't expecting and a few things that I wish I knew before studying my midwifery degree course. So if you're interested, stay tuned and let's get into this video. So the first thing that I wish I knew before studying midwifery is this course is not your typical course like people that study media, people that study business, or people that do English. You know, the typical courses that you go and do in uni. Midwifery is not your typical course. It's a full-time course that you are expected to do placement. You literally have 0 social hours, or even that you have limited social hours. You are expected to go on placement and work a full-time like job position as a student midwife. You are, you know, on placement, you are in uni, you have exams, you have assignments. It's not your typical course. There's a lot that is expected of a student midwife. There's a lot that you need to do, and there's a lot of hard work that goes into this degree. So don't go into midwifery thinking it's just, you know, a typical course. It's the same as your friends that are doing media, that are doing English, etc. It's not your typical course. You literally have no time to socialize. Even that you have a little bit of time to socialize, your social life will literally decline. Everyone else will be out living their lives, traveling, going here and there, and you will be on placement, doing night shifts, doing long days, doing 12-hour shifts. You'll be working 37.5 hours a week. You'll have assignments, you will have exams. It's just a stressful course, and it's not your typical course that, you know, your friends will go on and do. It's the same with like nursing, any medical degree course. It's not your typical course. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot that is expected of you, and there's a lot of time that you need to sacrifice in order to complete your course. So don't go into this course thinking it's just your regular schmegular course. It is not. It's not the typical course, and there's a lot that comes with it. So that's one thing I wish I knew before actually embarking on it. But even knowing that, I would still have done it and be like, okay, I'm ready to sacrifice, you know, 3 years of my life, you know, dedicated to this course. But it's just a few things that I wish I knew. So another thing that I wish I knew before studying my midwifery course is that it's very, very hard work. It goes with the first point that I made. It's very hard work. You have, you know, lack of sleep because placement, because of exams, because of coursework. If you fail any exams, if you fail any coursework, there's a possibility that you may have to either get kicked off the course, or you either get held back and you won't be able to progress the same as everyone else on your course. So it's very hard work. There's a lot of sleepless nights. There's a lot of overtime. There's a lot of pressure, and there's just a lot that comes with the course. So if I knew this, I would have mentally prepared for myself for the long shifts, for the long hours, for the lack of sleep, for the lack of socialization, for the hard work that comes with placement, that comes with exams, that comes with courseworks and uni in general. So another thing that I wish I knew before studying my midwifery course is this course is a course that you'll never stop learning. So even after you finish your exams, your placements, your course in general, when you finish and you've qualified, you will not stop learning. There's always something to learn. You will learn as a student, you will learn when you're qualified, you will learn, you know, when you're 5 years into your career, you will still learn. There's always things popping up, there's always new medication, new procedures, new research coming out, and there's always things to learn. After I did my exams, I was still reading through the exam paper, make sure I understood what I wrote in my exam, make sure I, you know, retain all the information. Everything that I learned in lectures, in lessons, I was constantly learning after lessons, after lectures. I was going home, taking my books home. Even when I finished and qualified, I still have my books and my notes that I made as a student, and I'm still learning, I'm still reading through it, and I'm still trying to, you know, retain as much information as I can. And now that I'm qualified, there's like e-learnings to do, there's new procedures to learn. I'm constantly doing, you know, study sessions at work. I'm constantly filling out, you know, competencies. I've got a book of competencies to complete. So this degree is something that will always be updated. You will constantly be learning. You won't stop learning. You have to constantly update your learning. It's a career and it's a course that doesn't stop learning. So this is something that I wish I knew before studying midwifery. Obviously, I was in the mind frame of I'm going to do my 3 years and be done with education and not have to pick up a book after I qualified, but that is wrong. I was so wrong, because even when I finished, I'm still picking up a book, I'm still reading through things, and I'm still making notes, I'm still having to learn things and memorize things and all of that. So that's one thing I wish I knew before studying midwifery. So another thing that I wish I knew is that when I started my midwifery degree is that I had to be professional at all times. So now that I'm embarking on a journey, I have the title as a student midwife, and then when I finish and qualified, I'm now a midwife. I have to be professional at all times, whether I'm in uni or out of uni, or when I'm at work or not at work, I still have to be professional at all times. So what I mean by that is, if I am on social media, I have to constantly be and act professional. If I'm out around friends and I'm taking pictures, I'm snapping, I'm, you know, around people, I have to be professional at all times, because I have the title as midwife, or you have the title as student midwife. You can't be seen doing a madness in a club, you can't be seen doing a madness on social media or on Instagram, on TikTok. You just can't be seen doing a madness in all kinds of places. You can't be seen having fights, having arguments, you know, cussing people out, or being rude to people as you go to work, being rude to people that you meet. You have to be professional at all times. That's one thing that you should know before you start. You have to be professional at all times, because there's a chance that you could risk your whole career if you are seen, you know, doing something unprofessional, getting into a mess, getting into a fight, cussing people out, beating people out. You are, you know, seen as a professional person. If you don't act professional, you can lose your job, you can lose your place as a student. They can kick you off if you act up, if you act unprofessional, or if you act in a very rude and aggressive manner. So that's one thing that I should tell you guys, is that you should be, or you will be expected to be professional at all times when you're a student and when you're qualified. So another thing that I wish I knew before studying midwifery is when you start placement, or when you get the choice of, you know, preparing for placement, starting placement and all of that, is you don't actually get to choose which hospital you go to or which hospital you are placed at. So the university work with the hospitals that are around their area, and then they send the students out depending on, you know, how many available spaces they have. If they can take on, for example, 10 students or 5 students, you basically get placed at a hospital that you may not have chosen, or that's far from your home. You are given the opportunity to request a hospital that they have already in partnership with. You can request to work there if it's better for you, like travel wise, if it's close to home, you can request, but it's not guaranteed that you will get the hospital of your choice. There's sometimes things can happen. They can't take a lot of students. If all students wanting to go to that same hospital, they can't just take all the students at that hospital. So you may be placed somewhere that is completely out of range. You have to do mad hours to the hospital, and you just have to do it as part of your course. So don't go onto this course expecting, you know, to be placed at a hospital that you want, that you've been looking for, or if there's a hospital near to your house but then your university doesn't even you know, send students to that hospital. You will have to just go where they place you, and you will have to think about travel times. You will have to adjust everything around that hospital that you are given. So don't go with the mind frame that you will be placed at the hospital that you want, because there's a possibility that you will be placed somewhere that literally is far from you. You didn't know about the hospital, and you're literally placed there for 3 years or 18 months, however long the course is. Another thing that I wish I knew before starting this course is that it is emotionally draining, physically draining. So there's the pressures of university. So you have 9 a.m. starts, you have long lessons, you have long lectures, you have exam pressures, you have essay pressures. There'll be times where I'll literally spend the whole day in the library up until late. Like, I'll spend most of my night in the library trying to finish assignments, trying to revise. So it can be emotionally draining, physically draining, because of placement hours. You're doing 12-hour shifts, you're doing long travel journeys. I had to do 2 hours to travel to placement and 2 hours back, so 4 hours of my time was, you know, around traveling to and from hospital. So it can be physically draining. The things that you are expected to do on placement, you are maybe coming from back to back shifts, and you're expected to just, you know, arrive on shift and be professional and be ready to go. So it can physically draining, emotionally draining. So just be prepared for that kind of hard emotional, physical burden that will be placed on you. Also, being emotionally drained, you can be met with people at your placement, your colleagues, your mentors, people that you work with. They can be difficult to work with, hard to talk to, you know, you don't have a lot of support. It could literally drain you emotionally, it can put a strain on you. So this is just something that you need to consider and take in, and something that you should know before going out on placement or starting your course, that this course can be emotionally and physically draining on students. So another point is your mentors or people that you work with on placement can be very difficult. They can be very rude to you, they can be very dismissive. So this is something that you need to prepare yourself for. I've been on placement where I've been allocated to a mentor or assigned to a mentor, and the mentor or the midwife that I was working with didn't like students, didn't like having students. So I had in my mind frame that I'm going to go out on placement and I'm going to be working with midwives. Obviously midwives are caring, they're compassionate people, they like to, you know, be, you know, care for women, care for families, so I'm gonna be okay. But you know, I was given a mentor that didn't like working with students. She was rude, she was very, you know, dismissive. So be prepared to meet certain people on placement, like mentors or people that you're assigned to, that literally will be rude, will be very dismissive, and that will give you literally a difficult time. They will make your life on placement like a hell. So just be prepared. Don't go thinking everyone's going to be lovely to you, everyone's going to be so welcoming to you, they're going to, you know, embrace you. But no, majority of them are very, very lovely. Like 98% of them are amazing midwives. They love to mentor the students, they love working with the mentors. But the 2%, they literally hate students, they don't like working with students, they don't like to teach students. So you'll be there not getting taught, you'll be there being left on your own, not given any breaks, or you'll be sent away. So just be prepared for that, for, you know, difficult mentors or mentors that literally don't like working with students. And if you are met with a difficult mentor or a difficult midwife that you're assigned to work with, make sure you say something, speak out, because it's your learning, it's your mental health, it's you that's going to suffer. So make sure you speak out, make sure that your CPF knows, your lecturers at uni, try and be assigned to someone else that you are compatible with, that will help you with your learning, that will not stress you out. But don't go there thinking that everyone will be lovely. You will meet people that are literally headache, that will make your life the worst thing. So I've had mentors that have made my life hell. Like, they didn't want me as a student. They didn't want any student. So any student that they got, they were just like dismissive. They just didn't want any student. But you know, I made this known to my CPF, and then I was, you know, moved to someone else. And this happened to like my colleagues, all my girls, some other girls that I was on the course with. They also had some issues with some mentors that were mean to them, that was very aggressive, very like rude to them, and they were able to change their mentors. As long as you speak out, you are able to change a mentor if that is possible to you, if there's other people you can work with. So that's one thing I wish I knew before starting my degree. So another thing that I wish I knew that goes with mentors is be prepared to arrive on shift thinking you're working with your mentor, and your mentor is either not in, it wasn't organized properly, and they didn't give you they didn't allocate you a mentor. You literally arrive on shift and there's no one there ready to work. There's no one there ready to work with you or allocated to you. Be prepared for things like that could go wrong. People can just, you know, not organize themselves correctly. You could be working with multiple different people. You're not assigned to someone specifically. You can arrive on shift and be allocated someone literally as soon as you get there, and that's literally the only person that's available. So be prepared to just be kind of go with the flow. If they haven't organized someone with you, you will be expected to work with someone new. If your mentor is off sick or on annual leave, you will be expected to work with someone new. Don't always go on placement thinking, okay, you have a set mentor, you're going to be working with that mentor all the time. That can happen. There's sometimes you have mentors that you work with from the start and they're your mentor, they're always there, and that's just amazing. But there's some situations where you come on shift, they haven't allocated you a mentor, or your mentor's not in, or she's left work, or she's on sick, and you have to kind of be hopping to mentor, and you don't have anyone stable to you. But that could happen, and it's something that you need to kind of keep in mind, and don't stress about it. Just go with the flow. If they give you someone new to work with, just work with that person, learn from that person, gain as much knowledge as you can from that person. If you work with someone new the next day, it also could be good for you. You also learn how they work, you also gain information from them. They will teach you different things. Don't take it as a negative all the time if you're not allocated to one mentor, or your mentor is constantly changing, or you're constantly not having a mentor. This is something that you can raise and, you know, share with your CPS and ask them if they can allocate you a certain particular person. But if they're not able to, don't see it as a negative. Try and embrace it and work with the person that you are allocated, and just make the most of it. So the last and final thing that I will mention is your social life is literally non-existent, or it decreases as soon as you embark on the journey of becoming a midwife. You will see people less and less. Your friends, you will see your friends less and less. You will see your partners less and less. You will have very awkward shift patterns with, you know, everyone else that's doing, you know, the normal 9 to 5. You will do shift work, you will do 12-hour shifts. You are expected to be on placement, to be in uni. You are having short summer breaks, you are having, you know, short Easter breaks. You are not having, you know, long Christmases. You are expected to work on Christmas if you are on placement and your mentor works on Christmas. So, but it's very, very rare that they'll make you work on Christmas. But sometimes if you have hours to make up, if you have hours to do, you are expected to work overtime and into your breaks, your summer breaks. Your social life will literally be non-existent, or it will be decreased as soon as you start this midwifery journey. I struggled with meeting up with friends. I struggled with, you know, going on holidays with my family. You know, they will have, you know, long periods of time where they can go fly out, and even if I'm on like break and I'm on holiday, I have like reading to do, I have exams to prepare for. Even though it's my time off, you still have things to read, things to catch up on, assignments to write. Literally your social life will literally be all over the place, and you will see people less and less. You won't have the freedom to just fly out, to go to this event, to that event, to this event, to that event, because you will literally have to dedicate your basically your life, your journey onto becoming a midwife. And if you lack on, for example, hours, if you lack on your exams, you won't, you know, get the grades you want. You might fail exams, you might not complete your hours on time. This might, you know, result to you dropping out of the course, getting kicked out of the course, being pulled back a year, and everything just gets delayed. But yeah, that's one thing that I wish I knew before studying midwifery, is that my social life is literally non-existent, and you will literally won't have time to be with your friends, fly out, go to events and all of that good stuff. But yeah, that's basically it for this video. I hope this video has helped. If you guys have any questions, don't forget to either, you know, comment below in the comment section, send me all the questions, or follow me on Instagram. My DMs are open, and give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.